If you change the way you see the world you see changes. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Mind Engineer community. Here, Tommy sharing insight and tools to help you start making changes in your life. So thank you for here listening. If you want to know more, just let us know down in the comments and we'll share more information about what we're doing, helping people start becoming leaders in their life, in their relationships, in their jobs, in their community, whatever it is, in whatever area, to be able to start creating the impact that they desire. And it starts with leading from within. That's why I'm starting to call this new thing the authentic leadership, because it's becoming who you're meant to be. And from there, to be able to apply these tools to any area of your life. As you guys most know me, I've been helping people in different aspects of their life, relationships, business, jobs, and many others. And I want to keep sharing this with the world. So what I want to bring today is, if you change the way you see the world you're seeing changes. What do I mean with this? Is that we first need to understand how the mind works, guys. The mind works by creating a potential future according to your programming. So according to your programming, you're going to see the world ahead of you, the world you're seeing now and the world that you're going to see in the next couple of years. So if, I don't know, somebody is trying to start a business, somebody's starting to get into a new relationship, the mind is going to go back looking into the past to see what happened in the past, to project a potential future. So imagine that if in the past I had really bad relationships, when I think about having a relationship, my mind is going to go into the past thinking, wait, Tommy, I need to protect you from what happened in the past. So what I'm going to try to do is to keep you off relationships, sabotage your relationships, or do something to protect you from what you experienced when, some years ago, many years ago, and things like that. So the mind is always portraying a future according to the programs that were installed during childhood and along your life, of course. So how you see the world is a byproduct of the programs you have in there. So imagine that, a dog shows up in front of you. And depending on your past experiences is how you're going to react to dogs. If when you were a kid, I don't know, your mom was afraid of dogs, your dad was afraid of dogs, they didn't like dogs, you might have learned to reject dogs. So now you see a dog and you're going to feel some rejection. Does that mean that, that is the entire truth? No, it just means that that's how you've been programmed. If you were bitten by a dog, as soon as you see a dog, you're going to start crying. And I work with people, and some time ago, I was working with a woman that she told me, Tommy, I woke up this morning and I was feeling anxiety, and there's no reason to feel anxiety. I live in a safe country, right? She lives in a very safe country in Europe, although war can starts anywhere, but the chances of war there are slim to none. So she lives in a safe country. She has a nice boyfriend that treats her really well. She has a job that is doing okay. So suddenly she's like telling herself that she shouldn't feel the way she's feeling. She's denying the way that she's feeling. So what she's doing with that is denying her experience. As we started going deeper, she started remembering when she was a little girl that her dad was very violent at home. So what had happened is when she woke up, the mind, or during sleep, or when she woke up, the mind was reliving something from the past. So as the mind was reliving something from the past, she was reacting to what the mind was living. If I ask any of you to close your eyes and imagine that you're eating, a piece of cake, the body is going to start salivating. You're going to start releasing gastric juice, and your stomach can even start making more noises. What does that happen? That proves that the mind cannot distinguish between reality and what you're making up in your mind. So what does that mean again? That many times we're reliving the past here now, or the mind is protecting you from a potential future. So if we don't change the way we see the world, we're going to see the same world we're seeing. So people are scared of people, of other jobs or whatever. We're going to still be affected by that because those are the programs that are installed. So, okay, what could we do? We can start working on healing our past, changing the stories we told ourselves, updating the programs, because when we start doing that, we're able to start seeing a different world. And I've shared this many times. I'm going to share it again, right? some time ago, I woke up and I woke up very anguished. I was very sad, stressed. I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't do what normally people would say, like, oh, there's nothing to feel like this. There's no reason to feel like this, and then invalidate my experience. What I said is, okay, I have valid reasons to be feeling this way. There is something going on in my mind that is creating this state in my body. And this is one of the things that Bessel van der Kolk talks a lot, is that the body keeps the score. Everything is stored in the body. So past experiences are going to trigger things from then, here, and now. So as I started validating my experience, supporting it, I realized that I had a dream where I had seen a very traumatic experience when I was maybe 20, 21 years old. So my body was reacting to that experience the same way it reacted back then. So was it true that I was going through that experience? Not entirely, but for the mind it was. So instead of invalidating that, because if I invalidate it, the mind just shuts it down, encapsulates it, and puts it back, waiting to come out again. Yes, waiting to come out again till I finally deal with this. So as many of you have seen working with me, what we tend to do is to do a meditation to go back into the past, to those moments where we experience different things that left marks in ourselves, in our body, in our mind. So it's not just the memory, but it's all the emotions, all the energy stored within us that needs to be released, that needs to be processed, so that we can finally become free of our past, and then start creating more the life that we want. Because remember, the mind is going to keep reliving the past. So if the past is, I failed, I made something wrong, I felt, judged, criticized, rejected, my mind is going to protect me from that. So a lot of people that procrastinate, that self-sabotage, those are just the symptoms of something deeper. So I need to start going deeper to understand what's going on. So to remind you guys, the first thing we need to do is to validate what's going on. Instead of denying what's going on, we need to start validating. Okay, there is a reason why I'm feeling like this. There is a reason why I'm behaving like this. There's a reason behind my thoughts. Stop denying what you're going through and start acknowledging, accepting, loving, and embracing what's going on. Because through that, that's how we start, in a way, retraining the mind to start leading our life the way we want. Normally, most of us are led by our emotions. Our emotions take over and we are being led by our emotions. The idea is to start learning how to lead consciously so that our emotions don't take over, and we can create a gap between the emotional reaction and our reaction, whether it is talking to somebody, whether it is breaking up a relationship, whether it's screwing up our job or whatever, right? We have normally a emotion that kicks in and then a reaction that we have. The idea is to build a gap between the emotion and the reaction to be able to do things more conscious, how we think, how we react, how we behave, because that's also going to dictate our future. So as we work on ourselves, on seeing the world in a different way, we're able to start creating a different world for ourselves. And another example, I'm working with a woman that she has really negative attachments to money. As a little girl, she went through a lot, and she has learned that money is bad, money brings problems, money creates separation, many, many, many negative things that she has attached with money. And at the beginning, she was telling me that she's fed up of not having enough money, of not making it to the end of the month, to be able to not finding a job, to many things that she was saying. So she was talking more about the symptoms, but she wasn't going into the root of the problem that she was facing. As we started going deeper and doing some exercise, we were able to start identifying the limiting negative and false beliefs she had attached to money, that now her mind and body was protecting her from having money, because she had such a negative meaning towards money that she didn't want money. Although she said consciously that she wanted money, very subconsciously, at a very deep level, she didn't want money. And think about that as a job. Think about that as a relationship. Think about that in any area of your life what you're saying. If your actions are not aligned with, hey, I want to have more money, if your actions are not, finding another job, maybe asking for a raise, maybe starting a side hustle, starting a side business, right? If you're not doing any of that, there is something deeper that is stopping you from being able to go down that path of maybe having more money. So the idea is to be able to start understanding the different programs that I have in the back of my head, in the subconscious mind, that are dictating my life today and my future. Start working on identifying them, on reprogramming them, changing the way you see the world. This woman saw the world as money is bad, money creates problems, separation, rejection, all these negative things. As we are removing those programs, updating them, now she is able to start taking more actions in her life. And I've seen this in a lot of people that I work with, that they didn't feel good enough to make more money, that they felt that money was bad, and many other different things. And then we can move over to maybe leading people. Maybe it could be, finding another job. Maybe it could be relationship-wise. In any area, the idea to be able to explore deep to see what could be going on in my mind that is holding me back from moving forward. So again, if you change the way you see the world, you update your programs in the mind, in the subconscious mind, you're able to see the world in a different way and be able to start taking actions, be able to start doing the things that you're wanting to do that unfortunately you're not being able to do. So I hope this makes sense. Let me know in the chat what you think about this. If you like this, if you have any questions, if you want to more subscribe so you can receive more information about different ways on how to start identifying how the mind works, and then be able to start finding those programs and updating those old programs that are holding you back. So thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy this. I hope you have a great week, and I'll